Alrighty, Sharp Customs. You know the routine. I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it at the end. How about that? So tonight, I believe it's Monday night, 23rd of December. Christmas is coming. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. If I don't do another video between now and then, might not. It's been a week since we did one. We did one on that, you know, the new toy we got, the printer, and I am going to update you tonight on that. But first off, so I'm just picking away at this GT40. You know, another one that's it's headed out southwest. Not gonna name names or anything like that. Just, you know, dude might not buy it. I might have another one for my collection. No. This one will be sold to somebody. I don't need that many, you know. One GT40 in my collection is fine. I'm gonna have two because obviously I am building one similar to how I'm building this one, and eventually I'll get back to that project. It's sitting over there on the speaker, just kind of hanging out. But yeah, so today I've been picking away the last couple days, and I'll show you. So this one, the front is going to hinge. You know, it's going to hinge open like so. It's not hinged yet. I still got to make the pivot point, but what I'll show you is the bracketry that I came up with to bolt to the front of this to hinge the nose. It's just sheet metal. It's, you know, all cut, all these holes drilled, lightning holes, call them whatever you want. I just put the holes in the sheet metal to make it look fancy. That's what I do. And it does lighten it up a wee bit. And it's just 18 gauge thin, and then I put this little X brace in the bottom to keep it square. And of course you can see I put a bead roll. And I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. I put a bead roll in there, and that just gives it a little extra strength. Now, when I unbolt this, my plan today was to get these powder chromed. Probably a good thing that I didn't get them into the powder chrome, because I gotta do a few little adjustments up here at the front at the pivot point. I gotta do a little notch because of the way it hinges. So we'll go to the back. The back is this. It's similar. It's similar. You know, it's gonna pivot. It's gonna pivot too. Again, I have to do some modifications. We'll just move this piece. We'll just move it right out of the way. A little different than the front because you know, most of these people, they're going to try and, you know, they're going to shoehorn a motor here with a rear end in it. And yeah, like I think these will look good, you know, once they're kind of cleaned up. This one doesn't weigh that much. It's just thin sheet. Here's my my welds. I'll clean those up, and then yeah, we'll get these pieces powder chromed. I might do a strut from here, like from the back firewall to the front bulkhead, just to make it all kind of, you know, it's, let me check. Nah, I don't think I don't need nothing. I don't need a strut across there. This thing's strong it's strong. And it doesn't weigh much. That's a nice thing. It's nice and light. But yeah, those are going to look super cool. You know, powder chrome. I love building these GT40s. I can't wait. You know, I got an upcoming project, hopefully soon. I don't know when you are going to get to see it. I can't really. I can't indulge on it kind of a secret, and it's a little bit of a teaser for all my viewers. It's another, I'm going to tell you right now, it's another sports car, okay? But I'm not telling you what one it is. You're just going to have to wait, man. And it might be, you know, it might be 2, 3, 4 months before you get to see it. I might do some sneak peeks, maybe some itty bitty sneak peeks, but it's a yeah, it's gonna be a surprise. It's another sports. It's another, it's another car like this. It's not a GT40, but still another very cool, iconic car. I say we head over that way. The printer, our new toy, the printer is actually printing while I am talking. And we're just going to let it print, and I'll show you what's in the printer when it finishes. That printer, I tell you right now, that printer, so we've literally had it for a week, let's say. It's got 105, yeah, I said it, 105 hours of print time, and about a half a mile, yes, a half a mile, half a mile of filming has gone through that machine. The waste factor, I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm going to show you what we've been up to. You got to remember, it's not like, as much as you like to sit there and watch that thing because it's so kind of fascinating to watch, the novelty starts to wear off. You watch it a little bit, and then you go do something, and you watch it a little bit. And there's a few things that I did make that I kind of had to babysit, which, yeah, you don't want to babysit your 3D printer while it's printing parts, because it just sucks. Anyhow, I'm gonna show you this. So I did on those brackets. I did a bead roll on that little X brace. Here's my bead roller. Check this thing out. This thing, my father made this, years and years ago. And this thing is a, it's a beast. It's a beast. But you take your little piece of sheet metal. It's home built. It's not a bot. It's not like it's just not a bought one. It was like these were turned in a lathe, and the gears, well, who knows what. It's got 3 gears. Check that out. It's got 3 gears. This gear on the handle drives these 2 rollers. Like, how cool is that? That comes out, It's a bit of a beast. Sometimes you need 2 people to manipulate it. We got the little T-handle here, and that just puts, that's a separate bar. It just puts pressure on this one to push it into the lower one. Here, I'll run a bead. This is 18 gauge. Pretty. It's actually pretty heavy. It's actually pretty heavy. It's just a scrap piece of metal, and I've already got this tightened down for what I was doing. Yeah, you got to put a little muscle. You can do curves. We'll do a curve. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Look at that. Pretty funky. Does a nice bead. You could get heavier if I tighten the T handle up. We could go a little heavier. Here, let's give it a twist. Hardest part is starting. Obviously, you got to kind of push it in there. Now, whatever you're bead rolling, you're going to mark it out on the sheet metal with a pencil line or a marker line. There you go. I mean, it does the job, It's homemade. It does the job. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool for a homemade one, Yeah, sometimes you got to reef on it to, or get somebody else to turn it as you're, especially if you're doing a bigger piece of metal. Like I do floor pans and stuff like that. I put bead rolls in it, so it takes the tin can effect out of it, you know. I'm going to grab this box right here, and I'll bring it over here. Oh yeah, the box. The box is, look, it's all plastic. It's all filament. This is all stuff that I've done this week. Mostly, okay, I might be a little fixated on superchargers. I like superchargers. What can I say? I'll try and put them in order the way they were printed. So this was one of the first ones. It's kind of a metallic-y blue. And then I believe I did I did this black, or no, I did this one here first. It's still black, but this one was actually split. You can see a glue mark all the way around the center. So this one was kind of split in half, and I laid it down, because that's the thing with 3D printing. You're always trying to look for ways to not use as much support. Support is your waste material. So if you look at the back of it, this one was printed this way. So everything that has an overhang, even these little itty bitty tiny lips, you know, they have to have support kind of pins that the printer prints in there. And then this one being set this way, of course, it's got some white spots on the back, and that's just where the supports were. But overall, nice print. You know, even this one, even though it's got the seam in the center, you know, this is probably going to be maybe sanded. Now here's a, you know, another full print on its back. There you can see all the white spots. You can even see them up around this flange, because like I say, any type of overhang has to be supported. So this being printed like that, everything is in behind, which is kind of a cool factor. So it gives, like this, you know, this hat, this blower hat, it gave it such a nice finish. And then we actually ordered some other materials. So this one was done in what they call silk black. Kind of looks, it's got a blue tinge to it. But so this one was the hat was printed separate from the blower, so you can see the lines, this line work. Yeah, kind of weird, that one. So the blower was standing this way, but the hat, it's just hot glued on. I could probably pull it off, but I'm going to leave it on. And the hat was printed sitting flat this way, and it got these weird, you know, weird lines in it. We got a white one. Yes, that is missing, because it failed. What can I say? It failed. Yes, I cut this stuff out because I was trying to fit it to a motor. I'll show you the motor. So we're also printing engine blocks, and this is a 9-hour print, this piece of so you know, don't get your hopes up if you want to get into 3D printing. Some things take many hours. You know, something like this, I fire this in at the end of the night, and I just go in and I go to bed and I hope that nothing happens, you know, during the print. This white block actually turned out pretty good. So this is what I did. I cut these out so that it just kind of fit on there a little better. This blower is a little too wide, you know, for the dimensions of the block. It was one of the first ones. It doesn't have the carburetors because I printed this in 3 pieces. So I printed the blower obviously this way, and I printed the scoop sitting that way. Obviously you can see the lines. For some reason when you print it out flat, it gets those lines in it. Don't know why. You could slow the printer down. Problem with slowing the printer down that I found, the plastic doesn't seem to stick quite as well. Maybe have to bump up the heat. So here we go. Here's some. These are like makeshift. You know, they sat this way. If you look at the blower, you can see one there, one up front, and that's not really the configuration of a, you know, supercharger. They should be in line. They should be a little fatter. You know, and then your air intake scoop goes on top. But there you go. I'm just laying this stuff out, okay? I'm just laying it out. Now, of course, I've got some other hats, blower hats. This one I did. This one is, I haven't done the chamber for this one yet. I have the file, but this one the butterflies are moving. But what's really cool is they're oval. And I made them like that because I wanted the lengths. This was way wider, and when I shrunk it down in the, you know, slicer software, it made these cool ovals, and I just kind of went with it. I thought it looked, you know, I thought it looked unique, you know, different, something different. It doesn't matter, that fell over. Now this is, so when you do these dimensions of this blower, that's the width you get. You get like a 3-inch, you know, by 4-inch, and that's, to me, so that should have been on that size blower right there. That top is huge. I didn't like it that huge, so I made adjustments in the software, obviously. But yeah, we're gonna run out of room here, right? Trying to stack. Oh, the printer's done, but we'll go over there in a second. So then we get into, oh, another hat, a little bit nicer print, but it failed right there. I just put some epoxy glue in there, and in there, see that? Because I printed this one standing up that way, and so this had support in there, and it's not a fail, it's just very rough looking. And I found some tricks I could do with that. Now we get in. Oh, last blower. Yeah, I know. I'm blower obsessed, man.
Oh, you are so obsessed.
I had to have the iconic. Come on, I had to have the iconic. You know, supercharger. I call it the most iconic supercharger of all time. You know, just the scoop alone is kind of a giveaway. And if you don't know, you know, what movie car this is from, I'm not gonna tell anybody, man. You figure it out. But this supercharger, I had to have it, iconic, you know. And of course, and then we kind of indulged. Plus, we did all the pieces. That's like the motor here. The motor, I'm going ahead of myself. We've got, you know, I did do an intake. I'll show you that in a second. Distributors. We get distributor caps, you know, go on the block. We've got oil filters. Oh, yep. We got oil filters, go on the block. We got, oh, water pumps. I have yet, we got some, you know, we got pulleys. We got the crank pulley. We got the water pump pulley. Headers. We got headers. I've done a set of silver and I've done a set of black. You know, not my type of header. I like the zoomies. I'm just showing you the stuff we've printed. I've done various blower pulleys. You know, you got the block. If you got a supercharger sitting on it, you know, you can't have a regular pulley on the bottom, so you gotta have a blower pulley. So, you know, I took this pulley in the software in the profile and just printed one, you know, just a little bit bigger to be a lower pulley. Pretty cool. That one's way too big. Way too big. This one is actually the replacement, and I'll just glue it on there. See, you can do that. You can just, in your slicer software, you can just take one piece of the puzzle and just print it out. You don't have to print the whole, you know, the whole part. You can just slice and dice. That's what I've been calling it. You slice and dice the part and you print it out. So as you can see, oh, we got sets of valve covers. I've done white set, black set, silver set. They got the Chevy bow tie on them. Obviously, I will be getting into other makes. Right now, I'm into the small block Chevy. That's my favorite motor. I'll get into the, you know, the 351s and the 427s and all that stuff. It's just a case of finding the files. Right now, I have not spent a dime on any files. So we've got, well, you saw that. We got the velocity injection stack. Pretty cool. This is my homemade one right here. The steel, you know, this is all made from steel. You know, this one was actually printed just a wee bit small, but still. So that's one of my fiberglass blocks. And we're gonna do a little bit of a comparison in a second. And then we've got my second. I gotta fix a few pieces. These things, you know, it's plastic. This, you know, it's broken. This one's just kind of barely hanging on there. Now the two, you can see I kind of upgraded the platform size, which actually made it a bit taller too. Still very cool. Injection stacks. They are pretty cool looking. I would have to say that those ones, the 3D printed ones, I thought my steel ones looked pretty cool, you know, till I 3D printed out a set, and it was like, you know, those are still okay. We gotta roll on. We gotta roll on all this 3D. There you go. I did a xenomorph. Yeah, it's an alien. Supposed to be an alien from the Alien movies, but his arms, look at his arms. You have failures in 3D printing. His arms, look at. We call him harmless and armless. That's what we call this xenomorph. I wanted an alien. What can I say? I like sci-fi movies, you know. I wanted an alien. I've been printing out all my friends. These little gaffers right here. They're like a little articulating dragon, you know, bony dragon, and they're, you know, they're just you put the key ring thing through their nose, and it's a little articulating dragon. And I've done them in all different colors and stuff. And I just, here you go, take it. This, you know, that little guy right there, believe it or not, that's a 30-minute print, right there. That is a 30. That stupid little thing is a 30-minute print. And tonight, we only did one. Well, no, we've got a print in there right now. But I did this. This was a 3-hour print. Wendigo. It's a Wendigo Warrior. Look at the antlers. Look how fine the antlers are. Man, I had to pick. So this thing was smothered in. I actually printed it laying down. So any, you know, it's got support in all these little spaces. It had support under all the antlers, and then support going up to these antlers. You know, support all over. It's like spikies on its spine. Like, well, here's a scenario for you. This is about 14 grams of plastic. You know, 5-6 inches tall. 14 grams. The waste, so all the support that was underneath this, twice as much. Twice as much. 26 grams of wasted plastic. But, you know, you have to expect that. Alright, I'm going to uncover this baby, because we got a full-blown, supercharged, small block Chevy. I didn't have enough wire to complete my spark plug wires. You know, I can lift it out. We've got the headers on it. We've got the oil filter. I am missing the alternator. I have not yet to print an alternator. Look in the front of this scoop though. See that? See that material? That's a piece of the material that I printed this scoop on, and it's called rafting. So you build a raft underneath your print to hold it to the table. But yeah, how cool is that? Like, that thing is so detailed. Now, there is a flaw, and that's the back of the block. You can see there was some stringing, you know, that's where the support was, and it almost failed. But still, you know, so that right there alone, right there, you're looking at, you know, 35 to 40 hours of print time for all these bits and pieces. I've kind of been keeping track. This stuff, I'm going to put all this stuff back in the box. Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to ditch this. But yeah, still cool. So you want a comparison? Here's one of my fiberglass with the zoomies on it, supercharger. It's got aluminum pulleys. This thing weighs over 2 pounds. That static plastic model weighs less than 1 pound, and they are both they're both about the same dimensions. Like, the length of the block is the same, the width of the block is the same. The height is a little this one is a smidge taller, but this blower setup's it's huge, man. It's huge. Here, I'll pull the two out. You can kind of get a see. They're pretty close. If you know, if this one had the zoomies on it, like this one, they'd be pretty dang close. Other than this scoop is super. It's massive. It's actually overscaled, you know, for quarter scale. This one is, you know, as far as a static model motor goes, this one is so much nicer because it's got so much detail. And I got one last thing to do before I sign off. Look, I almost signed off, man. Almost signed off. Let's see what's in the printer. Let's pull out what's in the printer. I told the camera girl, I said, we're just going to do a short video tonight. We had the printer running, you know, during the video. There we go. I'll pull out the... You know what those are? I will take one off of there. Took me a long time to get these little... These are the smallest things I print. And it took me a long time to figure these things out. There you go, man. Here, let me take the... This is too fat. But there you go. You know, you cut it, you glue it in. I know it's hard to see. It's a spark plug boot. That's a spark plug boot. But what I do with them is I take my cutters, give them a little, just cut the ends off. See, it's got a hole. Cut this end off because they are a little bit long. They'd be okay like that. I'm not going to cut that one. But there you go. You can see the waist there. So that's. Here, let's see if I can get. There we go. I got one off. You can see the little platform it builds. And then it builds the support, you know, because that, to me, that was, you could have, I could print them laying on their side, but then you end up with some weird marks, and they don't tend to stick when they're printing. They get pushed around by the print head. So this was my best option to make these little things. Yeah, pretty cool. Because I'll grab the, I'll be right there. So the block actually has the spark plug holes in it, and these suckers fit right in there. No. I could make the diameter so that they fit nice and snug, but you're gonna glue them in there anyway. Yes, we're not printing spark plugs and then spark plug boots. You just put that on there and it just looks, for a static model, it just looks cool. But yeah, so there you go. You get to see some of the stuff that we printed on the printer. You get to see that GT40 and some of the work I've been doing on it. And there you have it, man. Sharp Customs. Share, like, subscribe. Like I said, man, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. I'm going to try my hardest to put some more content out before the new year. I probably will. But, yeah, man, share, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to comment. I love you all. Peace. I'm out.